explain the makeup of the team and why you've made so many changes?
There's numerous reasons. A couple of little injury doubts, and then probably just in general, really. I think the kind of my mindset coming in was just to make sure that firstly I enjoyed it, and secondly that I was going to try and do things my way in terms of how I believe the game should be played. So some of the selections are towards that a little bit, but also I just feel if there's one word to probably describe Ireland, is cohesive. They're a team that's been together a long time, obviously very Leinster heavy, come through two schools, so the players have got a lot of familiarity, so I thought it was just very important to pick a team that had some familiarity, so obviously around 9, 10, 12, 13 in particular. I don't feel playing Ireland is a time to experiment, so just having those combinations together, who've got relationships, can talk to each other on the field, kind of pick up each other's habits. I thought that was very important. Obviously, Japan in the summer, it's time to blood youngsters, but just personally, I don't feel Ireland is a time to experiment massively.
Two that come straight back in having not been in the initial squad, Darren Askim and Max Llewellyn. You mentioned familiarity, but what do you think they can, why have they been elevated? What do you think they can bring in on the weekend?
Obviously, with Liam Williams and Owen Watkin going out of the squad, I just felt that we needed, as I said, some players who've got relationships with each other, play together every week. Obviously, I've coached Gareth, I've coached Max, so they kind of know my style of play a little bit as well. So that was an advantage, and Gareth is very good at driving the week. So with the likes of Thomas and Gareth, I've got relationships with both of them. I knew they would grab what I was trying to do and spread it through the team. So yeah, it's just that familiarity really.
We have to mention Ellisby, a bit of a fairy tale story really, coming from Nottingham, and he's seen probably his raw at regional level, but it's going to be a baptism of fire, but what an opportunity for him.
Yeah, and he's looked brilliant this week. It's obviously, well, one of the reasons you coach, actually, to name a team and see a young kid who's dreamt of playing for his country get that opportunity. I'm sure his family will be massively proud of him. So to see his face on selection was, part of the reason you coach. So he's had a really good week. I hope he just goes out and enjoys playing for his country.
On the other wing, Josh Adams, is he unfit for selection?
Yeah, so Josh has just picked up like a slight hamstring injury. We haven't got clarity on if it's on any return to play yet. Happened yesterday, so yeah, he wouldn't have been 100%. So he's dropped out of the squad.
You mentioned that you like your teams to entertain. You gave us that story about your boy last week. But that's one thing. But given the 4 sessions, the full sessions that you have with this one, I mean, how difficult is it to try and influence what you want to see come Saturday?
I'll be honest with you, it's tough. It's been a pretty busy week in terms of obviously last Monday sat in the house and within 18 hours sat in front of you guys. So then priority was Cardiff. Obviously flew out to Galway on Saturday morning. Then flew back Sunday morning to Cardiff, come and had a coaches meeting Sunday afternoon, and then ripped into the week really. So listen, it's bang for buck this week. So it's a real fine balance, and I had to keep giving myself some small talk in terms of not drowning the players with information. So if I'm honest, there's lots and lots of detail that I'd like to get across to the group in terms of how we play. But this week has been come in, try and get the mindset right and a good positive attitude, and then just put a framework in place where the players feel comfortable enough to put all their energy into something. There's going to be bits missing because we've had 3 training sessions up until now. But I think I've been pretty pleased, actually. We've just finished training. I think we've got a framework there. The players have got some clarity. And that's what we talked about on Monday. Is there's not been any lack of effort with this squad. They're massively proud to play for their country. We just needed them to all channel it in the right direction. So hopefully we'll see some signs of that on Saturday against one of the best teams in the world.
Just finally, on a personal level, less than 2 weeks ago, you would never have envisaged you would be here in front of us picking a national side, and come Saturday is going to be a special moment for yourself. I had a taste of it obviously in 2016, and that's what I said to the players on Monday. It's important that you enjoy doing it. I'll tell you in 2 weeks if I still am. But I've had so many messages off people, mostly abusive actually, off a couple of people you know as well. But just saying be yourself and enjoy it. So I said to the players on Monday, listen, the overwhelming advice I've had is be authentic and make sure you enjoy the experience. So I said that I'm going to give you the same advice and you keep me on track with that as well. It's very easy to get sucked into negativity. There's a young group of players here with a lot of heart, a lot of pride in playing for Wales, and I want them to enjoy it and also bring their personality to it as well. So two things for me really is be me and try and enjoy the experience, but hopefully that rubs off more importantly to the people who count, the players. All the best.
Cheers.
Matt, what do you want this team to be known for over the next 3 weeks, 3 games? What do you want their identity to be?
Oh, do you know what? Again, Monday we talked about that, and I think it's credit to any team. So if you think of Ireland, I think that if Ireland were playing out the window now with different coloured shirts on, within 5 minutes I could say that was Ireland. You can close your eyes and you can see them play. Tight connected shape and ball movement with their forwards. And our challenge as a Welsh squad over the 3 weeks is let's make sure we stand for something and we've got a clear identity. So as I said on Monday, I want the players to be brave. So within our system, if they see space, let's not die wondering. And if there's an error, there's an error. I can coach that in the week. And then just having a system that we stick to. So I've been in the game long enough now. I'm not going to just say go out and have a crack because it will get messy. So we've worked really hard on this week in terms of how we keep and find and keep shape. The teams I coach have ball movement, and if there's space, they'll try and attack it. So it's just making sure that the players are very, very clear on how we play. And hopefully it shows up this week, but probably in 3 weeks' time, we'll see a better identity of a Welsh team.
Yeah, you obviously brought in a few players you're familiar with down the years. Going into this, there might have been a temptation perhaps to lean a bit more into your sort of Cardiff roots and perhaps pick a few more players who you were familiar with. Well documented, your predecessor picked 13 Ospreys in his first game in charge because he had a short term. Was there ever a temptation to lean a bit more into your Cardiff roots?
No, listen. If I was going to do this full time, then you'd probably look at making a change immediately. I said to the squad again, going back to Monday meeting, that I've not come in to remove players from camp or bring players in. Obviously, the 3 players we brought in, there was a couple of injuries and a couple of positional switches, but I'm not going to come in and take away somebody's dream in terms of being picked for Wales, and then I bring lads in from Cardiff. So for me, it's important that the players who are in camp know that they're in camp for the duration, and we'll try and get a club feel in the next 3 weeks. So there's no temptation to make sweeping changes.
And just the last one from me, there's a section of the Irish media this week have pondered whether Ireland could beat Wales with 12 players. What do you and the camp make of that sort of talk?
Listen, it's not the type. I learnt the first time I did this job. I was referred to as an unknown little Englishman. So I deleted my social media pretty quickly. So I've not looked at anything like that, and I've not heard any talk of that in camp. I think this week has genuinely been about focusing on what we can bring to the game. I respect Ireland, very, very good team, well coached, good players, but Cardiff's a hostile place to come as well on a Saturday afternoon. There's going to be 15 players on the field that are desperate to represent the country well, and that's all we focused on, not any chat from outside of their camp.
And we'll just do one more in the live here.
Matt, I appreciate you said you're having a busy week, but do you think you probably caused a couple of late nights for Ireland in terms of they've got to now think on their feet about all the changes you've made and the fact obviously that you're a new coach, so they are clearly going to have to prepare for something, expect the unexpected really on Saturday. Yeah,
listen, they're very, very well coached, and obviously their coaching staff have been in the game a long time. They're going to understand that there's not a huge amount of change that we can make in 3 games. I think historically the Wales-Ireland games have always been pretty ferocious battles, so they're not going to come with any change of mindset. And as I said previously, Ireland are very, very good at just imprinting their game onto the opposition. They make slight tweaks, but there's not a huge amount of change in terms of what they do week for week in terms of their provinces and the national team. So listen, they'll have probably looked at some of the Cardiff footage and what can we expect in terms of some of our line-out launch and phase attack maybe, but I'm pretty sure they concentrate more on what they do than what we're going to do.
And just to check, it is 4 sessions, full sessions that you'll have before the Saturday, is that correct?
Yeah, so obviously main training day is Tuesday, Thursday. Monday was like some clarity, and then a team run tomorrow. So 4 times with the team, but two main training days really.
Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's the
Cheers,
live
thank you.
section concluded.